guys, welcome back to Book Talk with Meg. My name is Megan for those of you who don't know. Hi, welcome, hope you stick around. If you decide to, do not forget to click the subscribe button down below. It'll notify you when I upload new videos. Today I am launching my new series for Tuesdays, which will be Book Reviews Tuesdays with myself, where I will be reviewing book releases that are new or somewhat new, books that are underhyped, and books I feel are getting too much hype or, in my opinion, are not worth reading. So we are going to kickstart this series with a book review and a giveaway. Because I loved What If It's Us by Becky, Albertalli, and Silvera so much, I decided I wanted to give away a UK edition of What If It's Us, and basically I'm going to be doing this through the book depository. So if your country is eligible for shipping from Book Depository, then you can enter. You must be of legal age or at least have parental consent, and basically in order to be eligible to enter this giveaway, I want you to subscribe to my channel and also leave a comment in the down bar telling me why it is you want to read What If It's Us. Basically, this video will have a spoiler-free and a spoil section. Basically, I will warn you guys if you have not read it yet when to click out of this video, but do not forget to enter the giveaway before the end of the 2 weeks. The giveaway starts the moment this video is uploaded, and the winner will be contacted and announced through my channel on another Book Review Tuesday in 2 weeks. So without further ado, let's talk about What If It's Us. What If It's Us is a YA contemporary about a boy-boy romance. It is written by Becky Albertalli and Silvera. If you guys didn't know, Becky Albertalli is the writer of Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, as well as The Upside of Unrequited and a few other works. And Silvera, who is an author I am somewhat less familiar with, wrote obviously, What If It's Us, They Both Die at the End, More Happy Than Not, and a few other works that I cannot remember off the top of my head. This book is basically very focused on romance, and it is 433 pages long. I gave this book a solid 5 out of 5 stars, which is why I am filming this review for you guys today and felt I wanted to do a giveaway. I have extremely tabbed this book, and if you guys wanted to know, I am working on how I annotate my books in order to be able to film book reviews and just go back to books when you need to. So this will be up in the upcoming weeks on a Friday probably. So keep out for those videos. So let's start with the characters of this book. This book follows two main characters, Ben and Arthur. Ben is a New York native where the story takes place, and he basically just got over a breakup and is finding it very difficult. Ben has a best friend who is very supportive of him, and Ben is also in summer school during the duration of this story. There is a lot of representation of this book with Ben's background, and he is overall a well-rounded character. I must say, however, that I did prefer Arthur over Ben. Arthur is another character who is visiting New York for a few months and is interning at this job where his mom works, and basically this is why they meet at the post office. What I really appreciate of Arthur is his sense of being a very positive character, and I feel like, again, this is something that connects with me very, very much. I like positive characters and characters who believe in romance and the universe and that good things can happen, and I think that through this book Arthur's personality really shines, and I was looking forward to reading through his perspective because, yes, this is a multi-perspective book that flips a chapter between Ben and Arthur and vice versa. What I found very interesting about these two characters is how their philosophy on the world and on romance and relationships is very different. Ben is more of a down-to-earth, I just kind of got my heart broken kind of boy, whereas Arthur is a firm believer that universe can bring two people together and is more of the hopeless romantic type, which I found to make an interesting duo when it came to relationships. Basically, this character development is what brings the plot together, because the entire story unfolds when our two main characters, Ben and Arthur, meet at a post office. So this is kind of a meet cute where Arthur sees Ben going into the post office, and even though Arthur was like on a coffee run and didn't need to go into the post office, he goes and kind of chats up Ben. But the issue is that they don't actually exchange names, and so a big part of the first part of the story is Arthur and Ben trying to find their way together. And I found that to be interesting, but probably my least favorite part of the book, just because I was very much anticipating the romance, which is probably a good thing because that means the build-up was done very well. And I think the two characters being so different make the story very interesting. Another really great thing about the plot of this book is the parental presence in this book. Usually in YA, either the parents are dead or they just kind of don't exist, but with this book what was really interesting is that both set of parents were very supportive of our characters. Arthur and Ben's parents are both aware that their sons are gay and no one kind of bats an eye about it. What I really liked about this book is how this LGBTQ element was brought into play. Like, as much as someone can be heterosexual or homosexual, there isn't really much of a difference, except that there is triggers for homophobia, but later in the book, and it is not addressed by parents. I am always a sucker for family, and a very much supportive family in YA books, because I feel like it is a very important essence of people at a young age. Both our characters are like 16, so it would have felt weird if the parents weren't around, and I really enjoyed the fact that the parents were interested in the lives of their youth and all that stuff. I also really enjoyed the little elements that were brought into this plot, such as Broadway and Dear Evan Hansen, and also all the Harry Potter references. I am a sucker for any book that has Harry Potter references, and this one has more than enough to please my little Harry Potter nerd heart. So that I found was something that was really interesting, and I also really enjoyed the humor in this book. I feel like there's a lot of jokes and a lot of little things that are said that made me laugh. Everything that is orange is in here is something that made me happy or something that made me laugh, which I found great. I also found that this book did a very good job at the exploration of what it is to be gay in a big city, and as much as it is accepted by a lot of people, the book also has a moment where the two main characters are confronted with homophobia. I don't want to spoil more, but I'm just saying, if this is something that can trigger you, well, it does happen in the book. It is very unfortunate, but also a very good depiction of what life is like and how not everybody is still open to the fact that people have different sexual orientations, and I feel like it was properly addressed and that the characters really did what I feel is a good job of addressing homophobia. So again, extra points for this. I think that this book was something that was very easy to get into as well. I really enjoyed how the writing was done and how the two authors characters mesh together, because sometimes I feel with co-authored books it could be a problem where the writing does not flow from one character to the other, but I found that this was extremely well done. The writing was very simple but descriptive, and I feel like it put a lot of emphasis on character development and the romance, which is exactly what I was looking for during this book. I think that there was no information that wasn't needed. At first I was somewhat afraid because this book is a very long contemporary, almost like 450 pages, which is somewhat irregular for a contemporary romance, but I feel like it just made me more attached to the characters, and at the end of this book I had an extreme book hangover, which, if you want to see, I'll link my vlog up from where I read this in the little cards. And I also started to look up all the fandom stuff that I could find, which is like nothing. So if you guys own an Etsy store, please make some like stickers or some wall art or whatever of Ben and Arthur, because I would for sure buy it, because the characters were so well developed and so complex that I really fell in love with them. It's also important to note that, again, this book does have representation. We have, again, LGBTQ elements, we have a character who is Puerto Rican, another character who is Jewish, and it is all super interesting. I also loved the friend dynamics. So that is where my non-spoiler kind of talk goes. If you guys have not read What If It's Us, I encourage you to click away and enter my giveaway before you leave so that you can read the book, come back, and then we can continue this chat together, because I just want to gush about the romance. So, for spoilers, the thing I want to talk about most is the epilogue, because that is what kind of like made my heart stop a little bit, because it's not clear what is going to happen to our characters, and the fact that they're still friends but I feel like there's still some romantic tension really made me as happy and sad as this can be, because I felt very conflicted emotions because I was so invested in their relationship, and I think it was a very healthy relationship, and I definitely think that I personally would have liked an ending where it was clear that Ben and Arthur were going to get back together eventually, not that they dated other people and there was somewhat of a potential. I also really liked the inclusion of the written text by Ben during the entire book. He kind of writes stories, and I really enjoyed hearing him talk about the writing process and how he wasn't super confident as an author, but that Arthur brought him some confidence, and I liked that the two characters kind of shared different hobbies and passions that they had together. So whether it be the cute moments about Broadway and Hamilton, or it would be the writing of this story that kind of is fantastical, I felt like there was a little bit of fandom in this book, which I really enjoyed, and overall I think that the romance between the characters was so great. And I feel like, you know, that moment when Ben and Arthur go and they eat together and their parents are there as well, like, it made my heart so warm, because it's rare that you see the inclusion of two families eating together and wanting to meet the significant other of a child, because I feel like sometimes parents kind of shrug it off, but I like the fact that the parents think it's important. So overall, you can see I really like this book. If you want to gush with me a little bit more about this book, you are more than welcome to do so. You can DM me on my Instagram, which again is always linked down below, or you can even friend me on Goodreads if you want to see more of my thoughts, because I will be writing a typed up review for this book as well. So again, do not forget to enter my giveaway if you are interested, and also do not forget to subscribe. I'd love to chat with you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!